Hey, look at us.
Hey, look at us.
We're here.
Oh, it's delayed.
It's slightly delayed, so don't look at the screen. Yeah, it'll be really annoying. So, for those of you that are here, if we're looking at you, it's because the camera's literally on the chat button. So it's the same thing. So, anyways, it's pretty delayed though. But we're live. It sent out the notification.
Yeah, you're pointing.
Hey, people.
For what?
Yeah, I don't think I can watch that screen.
You can't
That's
look at
very
that
weird.
screen.
No, that's
Okay.
weird.
Can we
Anyways.
minimize that sucker?
No, just. I need to know if it's still going.
We need to know if we're live.
We're live. It says right here on my phone. that we're live.
Yeah, but still, is there anybody out there that can?
Can anyone chat?
Yeah, exactly.
There's 13 of you. Kayla.
Oh,
got
all right.
you.
Okay,
Wow, it's
good.
right at the bottom. I think that is the bottom though, so we should be good.
Yeah.
Don Long. Don.
Father Don is on.
Father's in. All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 25 of the Slightly Serious Sign podcast. This episode is voted number one by you guys because you're here in the chat. We made it to episode 25, so we wanted to say thank you. We have another sponsor. We'll talk about them in a second, but we wanted to say thanks, guys. This might be Wensco's first ever live stream, so we appreciate you guys being here. Joe, appreciate you being here. Looking great. We always look great, Joe. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. So that's very easy to read. We thought it was going to be a problem.
I thought
We
I
can
could read it,
everything.
but I could read it. That's good.
So I appreciate you guys being in the chat. Send us any messages you want. We'll try and answer them. But yeah, so we posted last week and said we were doing a live stream, and we had a big announcement. So do we want to share what the big announcement is?
Yeah, if we got enough people on.
Ooh, what do we have?
You think we
I
got
can't
enough?
see the
Ready to
numbers,
roll?
so but yeah,
So,
we should be good.
okay. Here's our announcement. We talked about other things we could possibly say during this, but our big announcement is United LEDs. There's a package for people that are watching.
You can see it. It's
Yeah,
delayed.
it's delayed.
Sorry,
You
it's
still
delayed.
looked at
I'm
the
sorry.
screen.
Apologize. United LEDs. We have a new LED that's coming to the United States. It's called United LED. We went out and created it. It's now in stock here. And we're putting it out to Signman soon.
So what made us bring on United LED?
With Principal Hanley merger by whatever that transaction was when they dropped the rest of us, they had claimed and through different things that they're 80% of the market. And with 80% of the market, we didn't want that to be a monopoly. And a lot of you that are buying the Quick Mod 2s or the Kestrel, you saw a price increase just recently, which is, I don't blame them. If you think you own the in market, you can mark it up. I can tell you right now, we buy LEDs from China. We did not get a price increase from China. So that price increase probably wasn't from China. That's an internal price increase to be able to pay for, trying to have a monopoly. So the real reason was to fight the monopoly. That's why it's called United LED. I just don't believe, I believe you need to have more choices, better options, and it was getting to the point where it was going to be tight for some of you Signman. Like, you're only going to have one option, and you have one option, you pay way too much, and a lot of people are getting rich off you.
Well, yeah, there's certain states that you can. That's only one option.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want. We want everybody to have choices to make.
Correct.
So we brought on two different modules. How did we decide what modules to bring on?
So yeah, we're just looking for the bulk with United. So we brought on a 0.8 watt to directly compete with the Quick Mod 2, and we brought on a 1.2 watt to directly compete with the Kestrel 2100, because I believe those are the number one, number two selling, standard channel letter modules in the United States, and that's the only business we're looking for. We're not looking at specialty items right now. We're just looking at let's just get the bulk, and the bulk is basically based off, whiter, brighter, and cheaper, and that's all we did. That's really all we're looking to do.
So how did we decide to bring on United LED? We kind of talked about it at the beginning, but what was the reasoning behind bringing one on versus just selling what we currently had? So
we really needed something to fight across the nation. We needed a module to fight across the nation. You can fight in pockets, like in the Midwest. Yes, we can fight it with a GE product, and then someone can fight it in California with a G2G product. Like, you can fight it here or there, but you really need to fight. Like, if you have a big company, you need to fight as another one big company. So that's why we brought United on, and that's why we did what we did. And and I can bring like to now to tell you, what we really did was create a private label, and we all have private label, right? Ours is Alpha brand. So we have Alpha panel, Alpha tape, Alpha vinyl, but it couldn't be Alpha. I didn't want to make an Alpha LED. I wanted it United LED. And the reason we did it is I keep G2G's name on it. That's who makes it. G2G makes it for us. So if you look at our module, when you see it, it says United and G2G. The reason I did that is so G2G can sell it to other distributors also. And the fact is, and people will say this, and so we're just put it out there right now, I'm not making any money off G2G selling it to Montroy or G2G selling it to Spandex or G2G selling it to these other people that are taking it on. I'm making no money off it. And it's really my contribution to the sign industry. Like I will stand in the way from a monopoly all day long. And if it costs me money, it costs me money. Because it is right because it's what American companies are supposed to do, but there always has to be somebody standing back in the way, and I'll be the guy standing in the way. So that's why we made it G2G, United by G2G, so other distributors across the country, U.S., Canada, everybody can, other vendors can sell it besides just us.
Well, that's the United name.
Yeah, that's why it's United.
Yeah, exactly.
The other benefit with that is that it's not just like it is a new product, but it's not from a new manufacturer, right? So it's one that we already sell to a lot of our customers and they love it. So that's kind of why we went that direction. We already talked about it. You already said their names, but do you want to clarify? We keep saying we are selling United Module. And when we say we, we're not just talking about Wensco. So who's involved in that?
So currently right now in stock, who has it in stock? And this happens fast. So there'll be others coming soon. But who has it in stock is obviously Wensco, the 7 locations out of the Midwest, Spandex out of Salt Lake City, and then all the Montroy branches. We all have it in stock. And if you go to unitedsignproducts.com, 2 things. One, you can see the spec sheet. But the second thing is you can see a map of who has it and where it's coming and where else it's coming in the future. So it will be coming to more locations in the future. G2G is working on it right now. And it happened fast. Obviously, it's hard. I mean, they literally hit the ground Monday, and now it's the following Monday. So we've had them less than a week. So it is coming all across the nation. You'll have choices all across the nation. If not, we'll work some free shipping out if you have nobody in your area. Because we want everybody to have it. We want everybody to touch it and feel it and see it and actually compare. We an honest comparison us to anything else you got in your shop. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to be whiter, brighter, and cheaper.
Yeah, I mean that goes into the next point is why should someone buy United LED? What's the reasoning?
So the reasoning is it's whiter, brighter, and cheaper. But the question is, how is it cheaper?
Yeah, why?
So when we were looking at buying it, I knew I had a lot of money to play with because when you're talking about, the Quick Mod 2, Quick Mod 2 is made in China. It gets shipped to Principal, and then Principal ships it to the distributor. In the middle of that, too, is also a manufacturers group that works for Principal trying to help them sell it to distributors also and end users. So you have a big company, 100, 150 plus people at Principal, plus the whole manufacturers rep group that sells it. So I'm cutting out all that labor. So I have all that extra money to play with to put better components in our LEDs to make them whiter and brighter. So really, we're making a better LED with better components, cheaper, only because we don't have the overhead.
So it's a markup, then a markup, then a markup, and a sale,
Yes.
right? And we have just basically a sale.
Yeah.
Just
Whatever.
we're all laughing and looking at the screen. There's a chat from Judy. You want to read it?
She says, "Why are you wearing those stupid bibs, Mike?" You know what? For those that are watching, we had to bring them back for some videos. So if you've seen our Christmas videos, we had to bring these bibs back for the Christmas and August videos.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? This would be the time to put them back on. Plus, dude, this is what I wear every day to work. Usually I don't have this shirt on over the top of it, but since the video, kept the shirt on.
Trying to keep it professional. Around
Yeah,
here.
we're trying to keep it professional. I got my suit coat behind us. Look. So.
What is the website? Website is unitedsignproducts.com. It went live last night, actually, so should be working for all of you. You can click Find a Distributor, and like you said, you can see the whole map there of everyone that currently has it, as well as some people that are bringing it on. It even has some coming soon locations on there as well, so Hopefully that works for all of you. If it doesn't, let me know. But
Yeah,
it was working before we came on today. So
Well, and also it's added to our website right now, so you
Correct.
can actually look at that
Correct.
and get the data sheets if you want to download those right now. It's on our website.
yep, just go to wensco.com,
Wensco.com.
search United, and you'll see all the products that are on there. So
Yeah.
Judy
Just to
said
give you a
it's,
quick
it's
breakdown.
never a good time to wear the bibs. That's what she said.
Yeah, you know,
I think she's having a bad attitude.
she's probably still in her pajamas at home.
Yeah, that's possible. Judy,
So-
you were supposed to be on the live. We didn't tell you.
Yeah.
though. We were
Yeah.
hoping you were
Where
just
were
going to
you?
show up so we could just put you on like we did for the podcast. So, how do you compete with a larger company with United LED? We kind of talked about a few points, but if you want to,
You really compete because we just made it whiter, brighter, and cheaper. Like you made a better product, less expensive, which sells itself. And we also made it where we're not trying to hose you on one side or the other. In other words, so we're not selling a cheaper module with a more expensive power supply, and you have to marry them together to get the warranty, or a cheaper power supply and a more expensive module, and then you have to marry those together to get the warranty. Ours is you're buying the cheap module, you can use whatever power supply you want, and it's still under warranty. So if you want to use, and we're suggesting you use the Allenson right now, the Allenson power supply is $15, $16, $17. We never get them back. That's the most tried and true power supply we've ever sold here, and that's why we wanted to marry it with that, because it's probably the best power supply out there. So that's why you want it. I mean, it's you'd be foolish not to. Like, do you want to pay more for something that's not as bright? And yeah, there's just there'd be no other reason, and not white. Like, okay, you want a yellow LED that's dull, and you want to pay more. Like, just doesn't seem right?
yeah. So, I mean, that pretty much covers all of it. So we're gonna have some videos. You'll see some videos next week. As I said, they're more awareness focused.
Come on, they're funny videos too.
Listen, I got
They're
injuries. I have
awareness
injuries
focused.
from the videos.
And then the following week, you're going to see some more serious videos. We're going to put these directly next to the QuickMod 2 and the Kestrel 2100, so you'll see them side by side in a box. It's the same thing that our reps are going to be traveling with in the field. So if you want to see them, reach out to a sales rep. They'll bring them into your shop, and from there we can show you them side by side. Right? There's no tricks involved in the box. We'll show you the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the
in the
reason.
coming weeks.
That's the reason we didn't do it live, because we didn't want excuses out there. Oh, you're going tricks. It's not as white inside. It's not that. We're going to do the videos to show you that there's no tricks involved. That it is literally, you put your module next to that module. It is this color, and it is this bright. You put them right next to each other. Put all four of them next to each other.
Yep.
And
We can
show
do
it. So we want to do it where it's we're not pulling any tricks.
Yep. And we'll do it all in one take so you guys can see it and see what we're talking about.
And those videos will also be on social media everywhere. So
Correct. Yeah. So, like we said, the thing we've been talking about is whiter, brighter, and cheaper, right? So if we've been listening to what you guys kind of asked for when we were selling the other modules beforehand, and our main goal was to make exactly what you wanted at a price that beats the modules you were already using. So we want to get it in your hands. So like I said, reach out to us, reach out to a sales rep, but that pretty much covers everything we had for the United launch. So we're going to actually get into questions and answers. So Judy said, quality at a lower price is awesome. Does anybody out there want it? We want to hear from you. Yes, exactly. So
Everybody wants it.
correct.
Some
we
people
wanna-
just don't know they want it yet because they haven't heard about it yet.
Right.
I haven't seen it. So like I said, we have these boxes. You'll see them in the videos in the coming weeks. That kind of literally can put them exactly side by side. And we can wire it however you want to wire it, right? So for 12 volt or 24 volt, whatever you want to do, and put them side by side and see what the price difference is. We have layout capabilities. Like I said, G2G is making it. So if you want to run a layout and run a full price on it, reach out to us and we can get you in touch and get a full layout and go from there. But other than that, we just wanted to let you guys know that it's available as of today. So
We
That's
didn't
the announcement.
answer why only 2 products, did we? So we only really we're only starting with 2 modules. If you're looking for something special, like you're looking for a 4 LED module, or you're looking for anything else special, a real special color, we're basically saying use whoever your local distributor, whatever other products they have. Like if it's us, we have some G2G products, we have GE products. Use the other stuff. We're only looking for the bulk stuff. We're only looking for, like, if you need 10 boxes, but you can buy one at a time. But like we're looking for like just your standard everyday channel letter white, or your backlit white. This is what we're looking for. Anything special beyond that, you use something else. We're not trying to cover the entire market, which also saves you money. Where we don't have a whole bunch of products that only sell a little bit. We're looking for just bulk.
Yep. You'll see more products probably in the future, but right now those are the ones that are available as we kind of find out what people want with them. People have already asked about sticks and all that kind of stuff. That's a possibility for the future as well. So a Core Visual Group on YouTube asked, and they work on the France power supplies, ? LOL. Scott, yes. Yes. So that brings a good point. So the warranty is 7-year parts, 5-year labor is on the module, and that's with any power supply. So whatever power supply you want to use, we literally do not care. We'll warranty it with any of them. I mean, assuming it's the right wattage and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
Used to be the right one.
don't forget you have France products. You're killing me, Smalls. He said, "Don't worry.
Hey,
I'm sorry
yes,
we didn't mention your
Sorry,
name.
we do have France, but have we put an order in for those, or they don't have them yet?
I think we might
Scott?
be working on something.
Oh, we might be working
we're
on
working on
something.
something.
Well, we're
That's
working
for
on
later.
something.
It's top
Okay,
secret.
okay.
We
Later.
can't tell
Don't-
everybody.
Can't tell everything.
Not on the live, at least. We can't even beep it out. Anyways,
Yeah, that's
yes,
true.
France power supplies as well. Literally any power supply you want to use, it will be warranted. So that pretty much covers it. From here, we'll go into Q&A. So again, appreciate you guys all being here. It looks like there's 43 people watching, so appreciate you guys being here.
Only 43. Where's everybody else?
Well,
47.
Wensco only counts as one
Oh, I see.
because it's going to go by IP probably. So even if everybody here was on it, would still just be one person.
All right. Let's
But
go.
anyways, first question. This is based off of the
Wait a minute,
last.
before we go, is there anything you're nervous about this?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this at the beginning. Rick asked me before we got on, "Are you guys nervous about this?" And I said, "The only two things I'm nervous about. One is that it's working. We're what? I don't know how many minutes in. It doesn't tell me on the screen right now.
No.
We're 16 minutes in. So at this point, I think it's gonna work. That's not a concern. That was concern number one. Concern number two is this guy that's sitting on my left. If you're watching on the screen, he's on the right side. But what he was gonna say, that was the only thing that was scary. So
Yeah, we don't have any beep button or.
yeah, I
It's-
said
it's live.
I said my plan is if I think something bad's going to come out, I'm just going to scream as loud as I can and hope that nobody can hear it. That's my plan. So I think it'll work. We'll warranty the module as well. It says Core Visual Group. So there you guys
Yeah,
go.
France.
here.
If you use
Yeah,
theirs, they'll
France.
warranty the modules also.
Yeah, there you go.
France will.
So like I said, just reach out to us if you have questions on it, and we'll talk more about it in the next, literally through the rest of the year. Probably you'll hear us yelling from the rooftops about it. But so this question, the first question we're going to start with is one from the last episode. Everyone that knows you knows that you're not afraid. This is why we were just talking about. When I said,
talking
are we
about-
nervous
Look
about
out.
it? So everyone that knows you knows you're not afraid to say things that.
Say what's on your mind.
Yeah, let's go with that. Sure. And they noticed that in the last episode that what did we call that? What did we title it? The South Union Street Gang. You withheld a story about Kevin's family, and they want to know if you're willing to tell that story yet.
Oh boy.
No. No, this is one story. This is one story I cannot say just for Kevin's sake, but I can tell you, highlight of my childhood. It was literally the highlight of my entire childhood.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So-
Maybe someday we'll get to it if I get Kevin on here. Maybe we can have a late night episode and get him drinking a
Yeah,
little
we-
bit, and he'll say, "Yeah, go ahead and say it."
I don't think it's gonna happen, but you guys can keep
I need his
asking.
permission to say it. Though.
Okay,
But it's highlight of my
into
childhood.
the actual questions. We do have a lot of questions to go through, but if you have questions, you're out there in the chat, please just type them out. We'll kind of read through them. You see me keep looking down, my phone is here because the screen for some reason is cutting off the first question, so we're trying to make sure we can see them as they come on. But question number one, this is from two different sources. So one anonymous person asked this, as well as Rick from Banner Ups also asked this question. Where do you see Wensco in 5 years?
Good question.
Where do I see Wentz going 5 years?
Yep.
Do you see what's going on here?
This is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
What
I
is?
don't think you can even see him.
I can.
There's something
Anyways.
behind us on the screen.
There's something purple in the back.
What I could see the reflection in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you might see something next week.
Yeah.
So
Actually, this week. Sorry, I
this
said
week.
next week.
This week. So where do I see Wentz going 5 years?
I'll just pretend like there's
Um,
nothing here. On that living
Yeah.
life on the.
All right.
Says,
Answer the question.
I'll push him for the answer. He says, "Who is that?" Someone said. Nothing. Don't worry about it, guys.
Don't worry about it. Future video, I think.
Oh, he's gone finally. So.
Good. Thanks.
Okay.
Where do we see Wen's going 5 years?
We're definitely growing fast, right? We're set up to grow fast. We will probably have new locations. I don't know about acquisitions because you never know. We'll definitely have new locations. We're definitely going to keep up with the technology. We're definitely going to keep up with the way social media is going. We're definitely keeping up with the way the web's going. At this point, we're keeping up, or we're trying to lead the way. We have the ability here to change faster than I think any one of our competitors. So when we see a market change, we can change fast. But we're going to continue to do business the exact same way we've done business for the last 80 years. Like, you order today, it's in stock, you get it tomorrow. We're not going for this new model of drop ship or, hub and spoke from, one location. So everything's 2 days away versus 1 day away. So we won't change. I can tell you right now, we won't change. We won't change. We won't sell. We'll continue to grow.
Yeah, when you ship third party, you don't know what's going to happen to that package.
Yeah, you have no idea.
So I'm reading through, this kind of goes into a question we're talking about later, but I'm reading the 10X rule from Grant Cardone right now. And there's a section of the book where he talks about instead of trying to chase the competitors that are bigger than you in the market, be the one that sets the pace so they have to follow you. And you should be aware that's basically what we're trying to do. When I read it, I was like, yeah, it's perfect. Like, literally, we're not trying to see what they're doing and copy it. What we have going is working great right now. So we're going to try and do a little bit of what they're doing, a little bit of what they're doing. What we're doing is working. So the plan is just to scale to more locations and continue to do exactly what we're doing now. So,
it's amazing when I think about that. That's a very good question, because I think flattery from other distributors that are doing what we're doing now, I mean, it's just like they're catching on to what we're doing. Yeah. Having classes, certain classes, I won't mention
very
that.
specific
Yes,
classes.
specific classes that they all of a sudden are doing.
At least they changed the name.
Yeah, that's true.
They did.
But no, it's amazing how I think we're going to grow, and we're going to just keep on continuing to grow. I think acquisitions, like you mentioned, I think that's an opportunity that we still have to look at, because we want to be in the areas that we can serve best, but we definitely want to grow. But as you grow, add more people, more trucks, more deliveries, different locations. I mean, I'm ready for the 5 years to come.
And we don't want to grow at a pace where you suck.
Exactly.
Like, there's distributors out there that have grown at a pace where all of a sudden you have terrible branches. And then your name gets out there that you're doing terrible. And the fact is, we got to be able to change very fast when that kind of stuff happens too, where we need to throw people at it. I mean, if we have a branch that's having a hard time, one, I'll be there to start with, but we'll throw people at it. And if you get too big, you can't necessarily throw enough people at it.
And having the key right people at the right areas.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, Don in the chat said, find your space and exploit it. So when we do these franchise trade shows, what we find is people that are literally like desperate to get a second option out there because they only have one option. So be aware that we're looking at those markets, right? We realize when you're just kind of stuck, you only have one option. I mean, it's the whole thing with United, right? Is we're just getting stuck with one option, and we realize that's happening, and we're trying to scale. But obviously, do it the way we do it, which means that we can't just open on the West Coast, right? That's not going to work for our model right now. So it's just going to be a slow expansion. We're going to get there. That's the goal. So I think someone asked if it was Grimace or Barney behind us. I don't know. You'll probably have to watch the videos for us this week to find out who it is.
Or just go back and watch the
episode
episode 2, the Christmas videos, where we mentioned that name.
Yeah, we might have
videos.
mentioned a name in the videos. Craig Gray says we'll stay focused on customer service and delivery and sales. Craig, don't forget.
I was about to say that.
I know. I'm just beating you to it. Don't worry. I was being nicer, Craig. That's why I said it first. Otherwise, it might have been worse. So
Craig's probably just getting out of bed, dusting off his clubs, getting ready for later.
I told you, Craig was so pumped for this live stream. I think he was practicing his typing skills this morning, so he was ready for this live chat.
Yeah,
he was messaging me about it this weekend. So kind of the same question, but maybe a slightly different answer is, where do we see the sign industry in 5 years? What changes do we think are coming? Oh, that's from Anonymous as well. By the way.
So this one gets a little scary.
Yeah.
So what I see happening is some of our larger distributors are making it possible for Amazon to get in. In other words, they're having a lot of their vinyl drop shipped to their customers. And they're also requiring or asking like those manufacturers to put more people on the street to help sell their vinyl. Well, that's our job, right? Our job as distributors is to stock it and put people on the street to help them sell it. The more that these bigger distributors are asking for those things from the manufacturers, the less they need us. So my worry is they're going to ask for those manufacturers to do so much that they're just like, well, I just sell it on Amazon then.
Exactly.
Like I don't need you guys. So that's my worry with some of the products. I think most of those manufacturers that they're having do it are going to wise up soon about it, because they're basically overworking them for the same price, and maybe they got to do something different. But that's my worry. But as far as the sign industry, it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to innovate. It's the creative people, right?
Yep.
So we're going to continue to get more and more innovation, more and more newer styles to do things. But it'll always be here, right? Even people going out of business have to make a sign. So it's always going to be here. It's just a matter of can we keep distribution in it? It's more of a question for me is like, is there still going to be a place for distribution in 5 years? Or are these people going to sell it direct? There's going to find like Amazon's going to help them sell it direct, or another company, or Walmart, or whatever like that.
I see two things coming when you say that. So one is you're getting large companies outside of the sign industry coming and acquiring sign distribution companies, right? They're seeing the market's growing, and before I think we were flying under the radar. Now they realize that there's money to be made here. So I think you're going to see more of that. We're going to get less and less regional distributors and more large companies that kind of acquire a lot of the smaller ones, which can be scary, right? Because that's going to put us in the same boat that a lot of people are in. Where in some like the Mountain West states, they only have one option, maybe two if they're really lucky. So that's scary. And then the second one, I think, is you're right. I think what we're seeing is we have manufacturers putting more and more reps on the road, and at some point they're going to put so many reps on the road that they're going to say, okay, we're doing all the work. Why don't we just go direct? What reason do we have to use distribution? And that's scary when we have people on the road, right? But everywhere else, they don't have them. So it's not like, oh, we'll go through Wensco, but we'll also sell direct. No, they're just going to either pick to go through distribution or go direct. So kind of scary. So if you're not seeing your sales rep, be aware that might happen. And that's it. It might, maybe good, maybe bad for the sign industry. It's hard to know, but
yeah, you're going to lose the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
You're going to lose the person you can call. Is what you're going to lose the personal touch. You're going to lose, like, if they did give you something wrong, is someone going to run something out today to get it right to you? You're going to lose that personal touch if that happens. And I don't think like these bigger companies, our manufacturers are going to let it happen. But it is a little bit scary what they're asking for and how much pressure they're putting on these manufacturers. Like, hey, we're the biggest. You need to do this and this for us. Well, if I'm going to do all this and this and this, do I really need you?
Do you really? Yeah.
So
I think technology is going to change. And be able to, look at the last 5 years. It's gotten faster, right? More color range. These printers are basically doing a lot of things that back in 5 years ago you couldn't do. But now you're hitting more Pantone colors. You're hitting all kinds of different things, and it's just going to get faster and better. It's like I always say, get on the train or stay on the bus stop, and you're going to be here.
yeah.
You got to be on the train and change with technology.
And you're seeing it too. You're seeing, just this year, right? 2 or 3 or 4 acquisitions all this year. And I don't think we're even done this year, to be honest with you. But it's just people that either like got ready to be done, or they just didn't evolve fast enough and they're just getting gobbled up. So something to be aware of. James I believe this is from Fire Sprint. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Is Omaha on your list of popular cities to start delivering to? You never know. You never know.
Some would say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's on the list.
It's on the list.
The question is, where is it on the list?
Yeah.
That's the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the
We
stuff
got
we
every
gotta
state.
hide.
Every
yeah.
state's on there, but
Yeah.
some. But we got a bunch more. Oh yeah, we'll get there, Don. Don't worry, I got your question in here. Core Visual Group says, when manufacturers and distributors act as partners, the customers win, but you lose when the impact goes either way. When it goes either the manufacturer's doing all of it or the
Yes. Exactly right.
You need both of them.
Exactly right.
So which actually gets into, we could skip to there because that's kind of a good segue for it. So Anonymous asked, I say anonymous, but he typed it into the chat. So can I say his name now? I have it in my notes as anonymous because that's what he told me.
Okay, go.
So Don Long said, wait, Don, I won't read your question. I was going to read it on there, but now I said your name, so I won't read it out loud. Where is it on here?
Read the one Joe led.
What are the 3 most important things a supplier vendor can do for Wensco to best support you and your customers? That question is directly from Joe from Nakusa, and then Don Long also said in the chat, what do you expect from your manufacturers?
Well, I knew Joe would ask that question because he probably doesn't know.
Oh, he's typing.
He probably has no idea what he's supposed to be doing. He's just sitting at home reading a book or something.
He's actually he asked the question. That's why he's on the live stream. He's sitting there with his pen and notepad,
Ready to go.
He wrote,
this is
he
what my
really
job
wrote-
description should
he
be.
wrote job description on the top of the paper.
Listen. Type that exact thing, Joe, into Chat GDP, and it will tell you what to do. So, anyways, what can they do? It's you can be a partner, right? Obviously, we sell a lot of. He said we sell a lot of different products. So what you can do to even help yours is you got to be very involved. Like they have to know you. Like, and if one of my sales reps is going out and talking to a customer, and there's 2 different choices of tape. Who knows? Like whoever has the better relationship is going to get mind share, right? So like if they don't know who Joe is, they're probably going to sell Transferite. If they know who Joe is, they're going to sell our tape, right? So, but also like keep us informed. We have there's a certain, I won't say the name of this manufacturer, but there's a certain manufacturers that we have that they use the ready, fire, aim strategy. In other words, we find out about their new products the same day the customer does. And then we get a call, and then to us, that's a bad partner, right? Because now they're calling us saying, hey, I saw this. Do you guys have it yet? Like, we just found out about it 10 minutes ago when you did.
Yep.
So
it's not on your website. Yeah.
So it's being out front with us. I'll tell you right now, the best company out there that does it being out front with us is Avery. Nobody does it better than Avery right now out of all the manufacturers. Avery lets us know like what's coming at the end of the Avery Dennison. Sorry, Abby. I apologize. Avery Dennison does it the best. Without a doubt, they're the ones that we know what's coming. We know what's coming, what they're working on. Granted, we can't say it, but we know. There's other companies that are we don't know.
No.
We're just selling what they have right now.
And then they ask, do you have it on the web yet?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
We just got it.
The other one on my side of things specifically though, one is obviously make sure it's on top of the minds of the sales rep. That's going to be the biggest thing, as well as like as training for that, right? If you can teach our sales rep something that they can go in and help a customer with, that's huge. The second one though is we don't want to be the one that drives all the demand.
Right.
Right? Like I need people to know what your product is. If it's a cold sell, we're never going to do that, right? But if I go into a shop right now and they're like, what wrap vinyls are you using? Avery Dennison, Arlon, and 3M are all going to come up, right? I don't have to do the initial work to say like, oh yeah, that's a manufacturer. They're based here. They do this. Like everyone already knows who they are. If you want us to bring it on and you guys aren't doing any marketing on your side, nobody knows who your product is. You're not doing shows, anything like that. It's a way harder sell on our end to sell a company that nobody's heard of versus somebody that everybody knows.
Yeah, it's product awareness.
And if they're changing the reps nonstop on us.
Yeah, that's true too.
Every 3 months we have a new rep.
Yep.
Okay, we got this guy. Then we got this guy. Then we got that guy. Oh, we're bringing this guy back. Like you never build a relationship, so you're never comfortable like pushing something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think ride-alongs as well. I mean, we talk about that as well. Ride-alongs with our sales reps, hitting some key customers, setting up times, and going through their area to talk about the products and that kind of thing. Education. I mean, those are keys, I would think.
did Judy write "Be kind"?
She did, yeah. She was nervous when you started talking. We were going to start saying names. Judy, we had a big talk before this, don't worry.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. But I think we'll be okay. I hope so.
Don, I can't answer that question.
Yeah, we played the fifth. Next question.
All right, let's go.
This is also from Joe. I'll go ahead and ask it since he's sitting here in the chat too. So, in an industry where price, availability, customer service, selection, support are all tied for the number one buying criteria for customers, how does Wensco separate themselves from the other national and local dealers?
Some of it depends on the customer. A lot of it depends on the customer. We talked about this earlier today. There's 3 major things that people use to buy: cheap, time, and service. And the reality is, as a distributor, you only can cover 2 of them. And they can mix and match, but You got to know what that customer needs. Do they only ever want cheap and they don't care about the time, but they want service? Or do they only care about cheap and time, but they don't care about the service? Or they only care about the service and cheap, but they don't care about the time? You're only ever going to cover two of those. And you just have to be in a spot where you can always cover two. So like, I can be cheaper sometimes, but you might have to wait. I can be cheaper, but you're not going to get no service. Or, I'm going to be a little more expensive, but you're going to get great customer service and it's going to be there tomorrow. So it's a matter of finding out what that customer wants and being our size and our visibility and knowing everybody. You know what that customer wants. Like being in front of that customer, that's the two things he wants out of the three, because you can't always do all three.
Yeah, a lot of people want to make sure that if my machine goes down, that it's fixed. I don't have to wait a week or have to outsource it to somebody else. I mean, that's downtime. I mean, that's crucial. Right. But a lot of people don't want to pay for that. Right? They want cheap, they want the time, but yet you're right. It's two things. You got to pick.
You have to pick.
What's more important to you?
It brings up a great point on equipment, right? So we get people that will price shop us versus our competitors who don't service their equipment and then come back and be like, oh yeah, but they're cheaper. And it's like, well, which one do you want, right? Do you want the service or do you want, like, those go hand in hand, right? That costs us money. It's the reason why sometimes, I'm not even saying all the time, a lot of times we can be the cheapest option if you're looking at equipment, but sometimes maybe we aren't, but you're looking at somebody who's not going to service it, right? We run into this all the time with Graphtex, right? Someone will price shop us on Graphtex and be like, oh, they're way cheaper. And then 6 months later, they call us like, hey, can you guys come and service them? It's like, no, we told you this was going to happen. Like, we already warned you ahead of time that it was going to happen. I'm not saying we're never going to help you out in that situation.
Well,
but
the answer is always, how much cheaper did you buy it for? Well, it was like $400 cheaper. I said, well, I can rent you one for $400 and I'll fix that one.
We'll fix it. Yeah.
And so the other part of that is a lot of those bigger manufacturers now use Bell and Howell as their thing.
Right.
Here's the difference between Bell and Howell doing it and us doing it. Bell and Howell doesn't care how long you're down. I mean, they care to an extent, but they're not losing daily sales. When you're down with us, we're looking at the daily sales. Or even if you have a manufacturer doing it, and I'm not saying these people don't care, but like if it's a Vanguard and they have to send their techs out, Vanguard's only going to lose the next sale of that machine. We're going to lose sales for the next 5 years. Right. They're not losing another sale till 7 years down the road when they buy another machine. So we're going to be quicker to service it than a manufacturer. And I'm not just picking up Vanguard. It's Epson. It's all these other people. But the reality is we stand behind what we sell, and we want to keep you running because we want the daily sales.
Right.
Like we're not looking at like selling you another machine. We're looking at, we want you to keep buying every day.
We're not box movers.
Yeah. I said that in the episode we did with IT supplies, right? The benefit of B2B is that we want you to grow, right? You know what you're not doing when your machine's down?
Growing.
Really anything, probably most of you. You only have one piece of equipment. So we're trying to get it. We really are trying. Like sometimes it might take us longer than you'd like, but it's not like we don't want you to be up, right? We want to make money too. So anyways, we'll keep moving along. Brian at Brushfire Signs asked, where do you think Wensco's improved the most over the last 5 years?
Good question.
Management. And I'm not saying that, it's me. Like, I've always been good.
He wanted to say Mike Hall, but he stopped.
No,
you saw him.
That's Mr. Hall.
Management.
That's a very good. Yeah.
No, I think we have a good team of that level of management that's just, and some of it is, thank goodness for Advantage. They train people good. They're good people, and we be able to pick them up because they fit into a system like our system. And the fact that we can argue about stuff, we can talk about stuff, and we can all sit right now and make a quick decision. And just like, even if everybody doesn't agree with the decision, like what's the majority? Okay, that's where we're going. And so it's that management team that cares, and we have a lot of fun. Like we talk on Sundays. Like when it's not a work day, but like we're talking to each other. Like, okay, we got this, we got that. Like we're thinking about work all the time, and we have a management team that's always thinking about work. And
we want to make it better.
Yeah, we're looking to grow. We're looking to be better. We're looking to be better, not just be better in the sign industry, but be better to employees, be a better company.
Even to our customers.
Yep, be better to our customers. Like,
yep.
We're just, and we have an entire management team that's pushing for it hard. And we have good employees, some of them.
Some of them are good? Yeah. As long as Rick doesn't spill his water during this live stream.
Well, he threw the sign down when we were setting this thing up.
That was before, though. Doesn't count. So far, smooth sailing here.
He said, no, we're doing it live.
The only thing I want to add to that is just speed. Even like this morning is a good example, right? Like, so United Module available today. It was only like I mean, even at this point, it's 11:30, so we might be good by now. But anyways,
Update.
as of like 8 a.m. this morning, it
They
was
got
like 90% on the web. That just gives you an idea of speed. Like Domingo literally put it up Sunday night.
Sunday.
Yeah, he called me at like 10:30 and I ignored him. So I called.
Exactly.
Who answered, Domingo?
That guy.
When you didn't leave me a
What?
message, I knew you called somebody else. When you didn't leave me a message, I was like,
Why
she
is it
doesn't
that
even-
you don't answer my phone call on Sundays?
I don't like talking to you on Sunday. I was busy.
You know what your dad said? His wife doesn't allow it.
Oh no, I was at church.
Oh, he was at church.
Oh, you
should-
still should say.
Why weren't you at church,
Well, if you didn't leave a voicemail though,
Domingo?
I
I'm
assume
not going to leave you a voicemail.
it's the same thing. I just
I'm gonna
assumed you
text
called
you.
him. That's true.
Nah, I called Mike.
But anyways, I didn't get a hold of you because I checked and the modules were already up. So then I was like, Domingo obviously got his work done. I didn't need him at that point. It's like, oh, it worked out perfect. So anyways, the speed at which we're doing things, we're trying to do them as fast as possible. We like to sometimes break it and then fix it later. So that just gives you an idea of how fast we're trying to do it. But
Yep.
gives you an idea. So
Well, it's a team effort. I can tell you that. It's
Yes.
which is good. That comes back to the management. I mean, you took my call on Sunday and I asked you some questions that, hey, this pricing, we got to make it right. And it's like, yeah, we got to make that change. Let's do it. Boom, done.
So next question, Brian Meyer from Creative Sign Company asks, what do you love the most about the sign industry?
I don't like the sign. I like my paycheck at the end of the week.
So, okay, some clarification on this one. So we set up this beforehand and we were just making sure everything's working. He's like, let me see if I'm ready. Just fire some random questions at me. And this is the one I gave him. So when I immediately looked over it, I already knew what the answer was. And anyways, he said he really only likes the paycheck. That's the only reason he's here. So, yeah, we talked about it already, obviously, before this, but the people for me is
Yes, people.
huge. Like, when we do
Vendors.
shows, talking to those people, I said it's like a weirdly that it feels like it's the same group of people. It's a giant group of creative people that are all in this industry. And it's like a small industry yet large, right? Like we
Yeah.
all seem to know each other and we all seem to get along. I mean, like Don Long asked that question that we can't answer, but like we know all of our competitors, right? Like, I mean, you've seen one of them on the
Yeah,
podcast too. so.
even the competitors, you know, you have some people that you can just get along with.
Yep.
You know, you'll go
Yeah.
out a social hour or something, and you just chat business and how's
Yep.
it going. It's not like you know, even the vendors. You know, you got friendly vendors. Well, some vendors don't, but they're working on it.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah.
mean, we just get along with our competitors, love the customers, obviously. The ones that pay, as Domingo said. I'm just kidding. I'm throwing them under the bus here. We
We
love
do
our
like him to
customers.
pay.
Yeah, we're
We-
like to pay
okay,
on
clear-
time.
Yes, we do like you to pay. I don't want you to think we don't. But yeah, that pretty much summarizes it. Did you have anything to add?
No, I just want to, you know, to just say that, you know, it's people. I mean, if you don't enjoy doing what you're doing, then it's just a job. But when you look forward to coming in the morning and, you know, come in early and you beat everybody or something like that, and just, hey, good morning. It's never, how you doing? No, it's good. It's people. Work with the good people. You make things happen.
Agree. The internet has erased 5 p.m. weekends and vacations. It's true. For some of us. Some of us just ignore the phone calls and your weekend goes fine. I still read all the text messages.
Listen, I've said this before. I don't think we should have weekends or holidays.
No upland
Why?
bliss.
Why? Like, why do we have to take Saturday, Sunday off? Those can be work days.
Sorry, we're having some connection issues
Yeah.
on this other mic. Can you guys still hear him?
Bienvenidos a...
Another question. I don't have an answer for this one, so I'll ask you guys. You guys can let me know. But who have been the biggest influences to the sign industry? This one again is from Brian over at Creative Sign Company.
I'll tell you, the biggest influence is number one. You can say Frank Fellers, because he created the sign industry into a car market. Like it was really him. It was really him, right? He was the one that was pushing it. He was the one that was like kind of the face of it. He was kind of so he changed the sign industry more. Just added an element to the sign industry. Granted, it would have happened anyways, but he pushed it. The other influences are just the bigger shops. Like they just grew faster. They just, like, you think of Gremco and even Glance and all across. But the people I would say that have made the sign industry great are some of the owners that are right now. Like, I don't want to say Judy because then she's gonna like start pride crying. But you have Judy Nelson.
Yeah.
You have Mark Granberry from GSG. You can even say Burr Kemper from Grimco.
Yeah.
You have these guys that are good people. Jim Wilson from Montroy. I'm trying to think of the other good people that you have. You have a lot of good, honest industry people
Yeah.
that made our industry so clean.
Yeah.
Dave Fisher was regional. Like these guys are just good, honest, clean people that made our industry that way.
Yeah.
There isn't animosity when we all get together because it came from the top down. Like we're just Richard Reese, same thing. So it's like,
And it's a lot of respect for those people,
yeah,
too.
you have a lot of respect for those people because
Absolutely.
they're just good, solid people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it only grew because there was people there to support the shops to grow, right? There's a lot of big sign shops out there, so we're not trying to discount any of you guys. I'm sure some of you have had massive impact, right? I mean, if you just look at in terms of like on the sign industry, just walk through Vegas, right, and look at all of those signs, right?
Yeah.
That's just like kind of like the history of sign making right there, and there's a lot of those people that impacted it. But even with them, it would have been hard to get there without having the products to do it. I think on the vendor side, you think of like people that have taken it. I mean, like 3M is the one I think of off the top of my head. Like without them, like where are we with Carvana, right? Where were we with whatever they call it, the original 40C with no air egress? It's just like a horrible, very difficult product, right? Like that's where we probably still are without them coming in and like taking the market and running with it, right? Like they didn't have to do that because they got 17 other divisions, but they still came out and made a product that's specifically for this industry. And I don't think we are with the other manufacturers that we still have. I don't think we're there without 3M doing it as well. So I think they are also kind of up there with people that have changed it. So
I think I wanted to just add that, with owners, it's listening to their employees and taking chances and listening to ideas that may not be good, but at least they listen to some ideas and they can build on that to say, you know what, you're on to something. Let's talk about it more. Let's schedule it in and bring some other people that it may impact in those departments to figure out whether it's going to work for us or not. I mean, that's how you grow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they listen, and I do have a lot of respect for Judy. I can tell you that because she puts up with a lot of people. Hold on.
He was looking straight at
Person.
me.
Hold on. Person.
they put up with a lot of person.
So if
One person.
hey, I didn't want to offend anybody if I missed them too on the owners. There's other people too. Like I'm even thinking of like Pam at Harbor Sales and Greg Tube Light and
Chat
like
did not
Glantz. The owners of these larger companies, like there's not a bad one out there.
Yeah.
There's just simply not a bad one out there.
The chat really didn't want you to forget Richard Reese. He got 2 mentions in the chat, so way to go. General Formulation said we love the people. Judy said exactly.
Didn't I say Richard Reese?
You did, but I think it was before that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they said it before anyways, so I just want to make sure they got the mention. Doug Driscoll sent a crying, laughing face, so appreciate you, Doug, watching. Okay, back to the serious questions. Wesley from Science by Craney, shout out Science by Craney, asked tacos or pizza. I would like to set up a qualification on this one. Your favorite version of either, because I already know what Domingo's first question is going to be. So the answer is no, it's not ground beef. Okay. Actual real tacos. Or if you like ground beef tacos, you can say ground beef tacos, but I already know the answer.
Well,
So, or the
Authentic
best
Mexican food, like the soft taco at Taco Bell.
Sure. If that's your favorite version of tacos,
That's
then
my,
yes,
my
that's what you're
favorite
basing-
version is
So would you rather have a
no.
thin crust pizza or a Taco Bell soft shell taco?
My favorite pizza, Super Supreme Pizza Hut Thin and Crispy.
Pizza.
Second place, Little Caesars $5 pizza.
with extra sauce.
Extra
Favorite
extra
tacos?
Parmesan.
Taco Bell. I don't-
Taco Bell is not that bad.
And
I'm
I don't
not
have a
gonna lie
second
to you,
favorite.
But
I don't have a second favorite.
you got to have steak on your taco.
This one
man.
is
This
really hard.
chopped up steak.
This one's really hard because I really like both a lot. But it would be
Yeah, I know you do.
it would be steak tacos too.
Steak
It's hard.
tacos.
Versus like a good pizza though. Like when we eat at California Pizza Company or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Versus
about
like a same place. If we're in Long Beach, okay, and my options are the thin crust pizza from California Pizza Company or the food truck that's right in front of it that says tacos, that's a really hard question.
There you
Because
go.
they're both so good. And that's
Get
the
both.
I
We
I
did.
will say I think the
We
best
did.
the best Don't tell everybody.
We
okay?
did.
If you fold the Jeff Gearman says this is quality content here. If you fold the pizza in half, is it a taco?
I fold my pizza when I eat it.
So you like tacos? So anyways,
Yeah.
I think both. What do you have to pick one? Pizza or tacos?
Go.
You know, I would probably say that's a tough choice. I would have to say both. I cannot make a
cop-out
decision.
answer.
Sorry, man.
You a politician now?
Yeah.
Vote for me.
No, but
Like director of
if I had a
Project Romeo,
choice,
okay.
I'd probably say steak tacos.
If you had to choose.
Grandma's steak tacos.
And then Mike Hall. This is a question specifically for you from an anonymous source.
Uh-oh.
Who's your favorite son?
Ooh.
I don't like any of them.
No.
I already know. I ranked fourth, so I don't have to.
You
worry
got
about
to answer.
Okay, this is my true, honest answer.
Oh, boy.
Wait, can I guess before you say it? Because I think I already know what you're going to say, and it's going to be my answer for the next question.
Okay, well,
Because I think your answer is going to be whoever helped you the most recently with the project. That's my guess for your
that is
answer.
exactly my answer. Whoever's willing to come over and help me with the next project is my favorite son, without a doubt.
Whoever past helped you and is willing in the future.
Yes.
I believe it. So then the next question, also from anonymous source, says, Tyler, who's your favorite brother? Currently, it's Tayton, because he came out and helped me dig those 84 post holes that I had to put in my yard, and that was horrible. So, but anyone else can take it if they come and help me with the next project. Tristan, I have to pour a patio, so not that you might have asked the question, but if you did, I do have to pour a new patio soon. So
He's a smart guy.
I know. So,
Brandon from Arkansas Science tonight.
hello,
Well,
Brandon.
hello.
I'm not getting the new chat's frozen on my screen, which is funny, but
Well,
that's
hello.
not real pizza. No, you're from New York.
Someone from New York.
Rick Barrett says if you fold a pizza in half, it's actually a calzone.
You know, he's got a point.
Yeah, that's
a good point.
You win. You win that
You
one.
win that one.
Okay. So the last two questions were from Anonymous. This one says, what's your funniest, best Wensco memory? Tristan Hull at Wensco.com, aka Anonymous.
I know what the warehouse one is.
There's so many. Oh, for the boys. Let me answer this for my boys first. I'll answer for Tristan and Tayton. Their funniest memory was Domingo was new, right? And they don't know who he is. He's upstairs in the warehouse. Were you rolling down vinyl?
Re-roll.
He was re-rolling vinyl upstairs. He comes out of the room and it's hot up there. Hot.
No air.
No air.
No air. What do you think's going to happen?
He comes out of the room with no shirt on, and that was the greatest day of they're like, this guy didn't we don't even know who he is. He came out there with no shirt on. So
Hey, it was hot.
that was their
Working, man. I'm getting the job done.
funniest moment. I don't know what my funniest moment would be. I have some really fun moments. Like there was a guy worked out of our Iowa location, and I think he was going Division I football or something like that. And and this was back when Brent was there too. So Brent knew how fast I was. So Brent gets to talking to him about playing football, and he's probably not fast enough for football. We go back and forth. He's like, you probably can't even beat Mike. So the talk gets happening. At this time, I'm probably only 35 years old. Maybe I'm 40, but I was still super fast. So we decided we line up in the warehouse and run, and I just smoke him, and I'm laughing at him the whole way. And the guy was like, something happened, like he must have slipped. So we run again, and of course I beat him again. So that was one of my funnier moments because this kid was like, there's no chance. And he's like, this is like a 6'4", big buff guy. And yeah, he lost.
I'll go next. My favorite memory. I won't add context, okay? I'll add some context, yes. Louisville. We went to where they were playing some live music behind a piano. And after that, we all as a team got Nikki to ride the bronze horse on the street. So that's all I'm going to give for context.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It was pretty solid. There might have been videos of that night, and it was pretty good. It's pretty good. That was when Ryan Luke was still here, so we got great videos of him too. So
Sunglasses, dancing.
yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I've tried to stay
That
away
was
from
fun.
that type of funny stuff. That's
It was good. It was good. Domingo, you have one?
Let's see.
Wait, I can
Funny.
tell one more.
Go ahead.
When I first started here, we worked the night shift. It was Brent and I again worked the night shift, and we decided, us and a bunch of buddies were going to go to Cedar Point in between our shifts. So we got out of work a little early, drove all the way to Cedar Point, And it was probably 10 o'clock at night. We're supposed to start at 8. And we're standing in line for the Magnum. Ben, who I think was, I don't know what his title was, vice president or whatever, calls us about some mixed paint. And are you guys almost here? Yeah, we're almost there. We're standing in line for the Magnum, 4.5 hours away from the shop. Needless to say, if you got to deliver that next day, it was probably wrong, because we did make it back and get loaded, but it was not correct. But yeah, we're almost there. We're in line at the Magnum.
I think the funniest is probably the story with the warehouse, because seeing the faces on those young kids going, "Who
What
is
just
this
happened?"
guy? What is he doing?"
You were new here too.
I was new.
That's funny.
Or the time Ben was mixing paint in his suit and dropped the thing and went straight up his suit, face. It comes out of the paint room, his face is all white. It's in his hair.
That
It's on
would
his
be
glasses.
funny.
It's all over him. So there's a lot of funny ones.
That's good. This kind of goes with it. What's your favorite part of your job? This is from Brad at Brushfire again.
My favorite part's every other Friday.
Payday. Gosh dang it. Why did it take me so long?
It would take me so
I'm
long
like,
going.
Wait
Wait a minute.
Do we do
Is he
pizza
off
or
on
something?
Friday? Or is Judy in on those days of buying pizza?
Gosh dang it.
Keeps his makes up the text for it, though. So the story.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So I can tell this story real quick. This was funny too. So they have those rickshaw, whatever they are. The guy pedals. You're like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Brett and I decided we're going to get on one together, and I think we were encouraging him to go faster and faster. We get to a part where he has to turn. There's too much weight in the back. We don't make the turn over the curb up on the up on the next one. Just about wrecked the whole thing. I don't even know if his bike's even manageable after that, but yeah. Or the time that Judy almost got us thrown out of the Uber. That's a funny story too, where she almost got us completely thrown out of an Uber. So we can tell that story later too.
You can ask Judy about that one.
Yeah, ask
she
Judy.
said she wants to tell you. We talked about this earlier. Do you have any book recommendations, sign related or not?
Yeah. One I can tell you that I like is Selling in an Anxious World. That's I think it's Jim Holden writes it. It's about changing. The basis of the book is changing the culture of your company. Sometimes, you get caught up so much in you need to do the checklist that they're spending more time doing the checklist than they are about selling, or they're spending more time doing the checklist than they are about doing their job. So they get caught too much up in the details. And what I preach all the time, always live in a gray area. There's black and white. Corey hates it. Our
In the
CFO
middle.
hates it, but I live in that gray area. So that would be one book choice.
I have two. So one I think that's relates most to the sign industry, but it's not at all related to the sign industry. It's actually from the restaurant industry, so you appreciate it too. Is unreasonable hospitality. So the reason I say that is because it's kind of about going above and beyond, so that what the customer expects from you and what they end up getting at the end is so far ahead of what they expected that they have nothing but to only go there forever, right? So it comes from the restaurant side where they would, go above and beyond, right? They would have like birthday presents pre-prep for people. They would know everything about them, so they would get them like the perfect gift. But I think that in our industry, that's something we can definitely pull off, right? So whether it's like you deliver the sign and then with it is, like shirts or hats or something. But I think that book kind of goes through like, here's how you do it and here's how you drive that culture at your company. And then the one thing that Domingo sees me do this all the time, but if I'm ever talking to you and then I just take out my phone and I just start typing on it, it's because I read the book Getting Things Done, and the whole thing is me getting it out of my head and onto paper. So
Yep.
that's how I get anything done
If you're
now.
looking at this, like I do it paper-wise, but if
Yeah.
you see this book that's on here, I literally have one for every year. So if you want to see what I did in April of 2008, just look up the 2008 book, look in April, and you'll see what I was doing then.
Yeah.
So
that's
mine's on paper.
That book is the only way I can stay organized now.
So I think you could do the Franklin planner. That's what you have right there.
Yeah, basically.
But you made fun of it.
Yeah.
Why?
This is the Mike Hall planner.
This is
I'm
the
way
Mike Hall-
better than
Mike Hall
Franklin's.
edition. But anyways, back to Tyler. Back to your point. So back in this would have been 2002 or something like that. I went to it was a restaurant manager competition, and at the end you had to do a speech, and that was your final thing. And my speech was hospitality +1. So it's basically go a little bit above and beyond every single time you do something where it's like, and you saw this happen in restaurants where before you had to walk over the hostess desk, hope someone's there. Then all of a sudden they're opening the door for you, and then they're welcoming you. But my talk was don't do it all at once. Like, because if you do it all at once, there's no place else to go. Like, so you do a little bit of time. And I think like Apple has this strategy, right? Like the stuff that's in a 15, they probably had back in 9, but they put a little bit at a time. Why? So you keep going to buy it. And I think it's the same thing anywhere. Like, not that we're holding back from customers, but like you do hold back because you got to have something new next year. And you got to have something new next year. And you can't always think of it. So like, give them just enough where, hey, that's new. And that was my whole talk, was like, cut your potato at an angle. Like, there's just different things where just continue to do something new.
Yeah. We always look at it from the side of things, which this never works, by the way. So if you're listening to this, you probably have had something similar to this happen. And what I'm about to say is going to be like, oh, that's a bummer. I always think about it in terms of what can I do that someone's going to willingly post on social media, right? Like, how often do you see somebody that was like, oh, I had this awesome experience happen? Never. It never happens. But if you go in, like, just go into that mentality, right? Like, I'm going to do this thing. What can I do that's going to make them think, I need to tell somebody that this happened to me? Like, it doesn't happen very often, right? It's not like I go somewhere. Usually when I want to tell somebody about something, it's bad. Like I did on Enterprise, like 2 episodes ago. Like, that's usually what happens, right? Is you go and like, oh, it's horrible. How often do somebody come in and
that's
be like,
the easiest way.
you won't believe what happened
It's
at this
human
place.
nature.
Like, I went in and all these sweet things happened. Like, it doesn't happen very often. But if you just like, that's the mentality I go into it with. Like, how can I go in thinking they're going to want to tell people how awesome this was? And not often do they ever say anything. I mean, at least publicly, right? They might tell other people, but publicly they don't. But I think that mentality helps.
2 books. Who Moved My Cheese and 7 Habits. You need to look those up.
7 Habits
Because
of Highly Successful
you got it. Because there's a lot of things that a lot of people have bad habits. And we all kind of sometimes get into that mold of old ways of doing something. And it just becomes a very bad habit.
We do it because that's the way we've always done it.
Exactly. But you got to look at the situation. Like when you give me something, I always look for a quick way, right? But I look for a more efficient way of doing something. I mean, even if Tater could probably attest to this on re-rolling the material, if they're, God, you have a system, this is how you do it. I'm teaching him how it's done so it's more effective, more efficient on how to do something. So,
If you always want to know the most efficient way to do anything, find a lazy person. They always find the most efficient way.
What do they call redneck ingenuity, right?
Yeah.
If there's a way to figure it out and you don't have the tools, you'll figure out a way to do it, right?
Yep.
We always make fun of like things that people do in the sign industry for it, but a lot of times it's like genius, right? Like some of the products that we have in the sign industry are because some guy in the sign industry did it, and then they were like, "That's a great idea. We should actually make that, right?" Instead of like the sticks, right? Like tap outs on a stick was like somebody was already making those, right? They were already like just snapping them in, and then someone's like, "Well, we can just make those. Like we have the tools too."
Listen, they were strapping them to the bulbs.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's no doubt they were unhooking the bulbs, strapping that, and then literally sticking the LEDs right to the bulbs.
Yeah. Yeah, just
That's how it started.
and it worked. So,
Like, oh, we should probably put this on aluminum instead of glass.
all right, back to the more serious questions. James from Fire Sprint, who was in here earlier, I don't know if he's still here. He asked, "What is your ideal customer?"
Consistent customer.
I didn't know what he was going to say. He hesitated. I got nervous.
Someone that's consistent. The more consistent they are buying, consistently doing the same stuff, the easier distribution is for them. You don't want the guy that's all over the board all the time. It's not necessarily an ideal customer. There's bad customers that you don't want. So anybody that's not a bad customer is an ideal customer.
Yeah. I think one for me is one that I don't know how to word it except like keeps us in the loop, basically. So one of the questions we probably won't get to that somebody submitted was like, what's the difference between ACM panels in the market? So sometimes what will happen is we'll get a customer that was ordering, and then just stops. And then you go in there and they're like, oh yeah, X, Y, and Z had it way cheaper. And then you like sit down with them and be like, okay, if this product works for you, that's great, but it's not apples to apples the product that we had before. And if we compared apples to apples, then we have a comparable product at the same price or cheaper. And if they don't like reach out to us, right, that's like, hey, they came to this, like, do you guys have anything for that? Like, especially after we've like developed a relationship, then like it's hard for us to even make those counter arguments, right? We talked about it on the episode you haven't seen yet, but you'll see, I believe, is with 3A Composites on Sintra, right? Well, we're get somebody that's like, oh yeah, we found Sintra at a cheaper price, and then when we look at it, it's not actually Sintra. It's not even close to the specs of that product. and they think they're buying the same product, and you're like, well, you're not. And then sometimes the person that's buying it doesn't even know. Like the person in the back just is like, oh yeah, we've been getting a crappier product for a few weeks now and we didn't know.
Yep.
Like that's just how it works.
Well, we compared it to Kleenex, or you even compare it to Charmin. Do you go and buy the cheapest toilet paper?
Yeah. No, you probably find something in the middle. Which is what
in the middle.
we're really trying to help you with too, right? Like you're not always looking for the most expensive version of it, but if you want a different version of it, like ask us too, right? Like we're here for that specifically. That's what we talked about at the beginning. What's our job? That's what our job here is, to sit here and be in the middle and be like, hey, this is what we know, right? So what, depending on what you're doing, here's the application. But if you don't ask us and you just get another product and don't ask us,
the purchaser said it's cheaper.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. Yep.
Yeah, they're not using the
I'm
product.
sure
They don't know, they don't handle it, but hey, it's 4 cents
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah, we find that happen when you incentivize the purchaser to
Right.
spend less money. What happens is the guy in the back just gets progressively more and more frustrated. So if you're a sign shop and you're like, I cannot keep the guy in the back, I don't know what the deal is, talk to your purchaser. It's probably where your problems are at. A lot
Could
of
be
times
one of
they're getting the wrong product, and the guy in the back is like, every time we just keep getting issues, and people in the front don't know the people in the back are having problems.
So is the project ready? No, it's going to be another day.
Well, a couple days. James is here. He waved at us in the chat, so appreciate you.
All right.
Hopefully that answered your question. Another question, also from James, also from Brad at Brushfire as well, asked, are you looking at alternate markets for sales or more sales in your current market? So are we looking for alternate markets or more into the current sales market?
Yes.
Next question.
That is true.
That is
I was
true.
going to say it.
We're
there.
literally looking at everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And there's
Vertical markets, everything.
vertical markets, everything.
got
There's,
it.
and especially now, like we're more than sign supplies. We're still always going to focus on the sign industry,
Yep.
but there's other markets out there that, listen, we already have all the infrastructure to supply other markets.
Well, I think this company, I think Wensco right now, we bring classes to customers that they're, oh, I didn't know you offered that.
Yep.
You know, we're talking about bringing in window tint classes, setting those up.
They're scheduled.
Oh, they are.
Do you want me to announce it now?
I
Yeah, we
know
have window tint and PPF classes that'll be on the schedule. So that was confirmed like literally on Friday. So
well, there you go. I didn't.
So in the fall, you'll see window tint and PPF classes coming here at Wensco. So sign up. But that's
Sign
what we're
up.
saying. Vertical markets that we're looking into are ones that already buy sign supplies, right? We're talking like architectural window films are obviously sign shops use them
Yep.
currently, but also, like design firms and like construction style companies also use them. So it's not like we're trying to we're also going to sell food and beverage. That's our next goal, right? People that use signs also eat food. So we figured it's good. Now we're just looking at the next step over, right? But mostly
But
signs.
that is a possibility because we can do labeling,
It's
food
true.
and beverage.
I mean, we want to sell food and beverage, but it's so we can take it out of stock here. That's why.
Yeah, we'd lose money. We'd lose money in consumption.
Freaking, yeah, our own supply. Next question. What is your fastest and slowest moving products from Brad at Brushfire? Or what is our best selling? And
Fastest moving product, without a doubt, is Alpha Panel.
Yep.
The number one selling product. Our slowest moving product, and it's the old timers are going to know this. Bases for U lamps.
that's funny. That's actually better than the option I was
Bases for,
thinking in my head.
and the rods that hold them.
Yeah.
The rods that hold them, and the bases for U lamps, and maybe 200 housings.
So when
So-
we look at our slowest moving products, because one of the other questions he had in here that I didn't add was like, how do you plan to change it? There's a lot of products that we stock that we know are not going to grow, but they still are needed, right? So this goes to all fluorescents and all neon, right? All of that's just down, and we know that people still need it, so we're just going to support it. It's
Well-
not like we're going to get rid of it at all.
It was just recently someone came and said, what's this 3-piece swivel set? Which is okay. We haven't sold them in a long time, but the problem we had with this one, why they didn't know, is probably someone else might be able to help me on this. 15, 17 years ago, it went from a 3-piece to a 4-piece. So they're looking at it says as there's 4 pieces in there. This can't be the 3-piece swivel set. Where's the 3-piece? This one's 4. And but
Yep.
we never changed the name because that's what it always was. But
And that's what people are buying.
But there are stuff that we stock like that where even Tater, who's been here 10 plus years now or whatever it is, will have to come to me and, Dad, what is this?
Yeah, I have no idea.
And I'm like, oh, I know what it is. Like a pounce pad, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like, what do they use it for?
I
or the roller, the pounce roller. Like he's looking at like we still have that stuff in stock,
Yeah.
but it barely ever sells. But you still got to have it because there's still people doing it.
I look at those little, the ones I always seem to get them when we do counts for inventory, but the ones that are in the back of the paint room, like the 8 mil, 10 mil, 12 mil, I don't even know what they are, right? They're these little tiny things. Every time, I still don't know what they're for, and I probably counted them 7 times. And every year it's just a little less than it was the year before, right? Like a couple people needed them. Are we going to get rid of them? No. Like people are obviously buying them, but the reality, it's just like this product. No idea what it's for. Some people are buying them. And then, but it's just like fluorescent, neon, like that stuff is just like in decline. Neon might be making a
Little
comeback.
bit of a comeback.
Are you talking about the shelf that is the one that's back there where nobody wants to count it?
Oh yeah,
You get
yeah.
stuck.
If you go in the paint room, go to the left, all the way in that back left corner there. Everyone that's at Wensco knows what I'm talking about. They look at their paper like, please, please, please. Same with the end caps one where you got to count them. Nobody can tell the difference between the bags. Some of the labels are so old you can't even read them anymore, and you're just like, I don't know.
That's end caps and pass through or what are they called? Straight.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're counting end caps, and then after you counted them all, you realize that you're counting the wrong ones. When
Yep.
you look down at your inventory sheet and all the numbers are flipped because you were counting the wrong ones because you didn't know which one you were looking at. So, anyways,
Then you're holding up going, yeah, that one's shorter.
you're looking at the picture on the web like,
Yep.
I don't know, looks kind of like it. Sure. Anyways,
Oh, yeah. Counting's a hoot.
James from Fire Sprint again. What types of markets do you think you're the strongest in? I think this actually goes back to his question about who's your ideal customer.
Right.
We always talk about, all right, where we do best is in small to medium sign shops. We always want to sell to the large sign shops. We do a great job there, but we are really good at getting a small sign shop up to a larger sign shop. And that's where I think we're the strongest in, right, is bringing in someone that's new. We have the people that know what they're doing. We have the vendors that can help them, and we have sales reps on the road. So we can kind of get you from, like, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, but I have at least a general idea on how to do one thing, and you want to do all types of signage. We can get you there. We can at least get you the right products. Because we run into people, I ran into this all the time when we were selling those Okies, now Creos, where somebody would get one, and then they'd reach out to us, be like, I've had this thing 7 months, and I've never used it. And they're just buying from another supplier on the West Coast who just isn't supporting it, right? They're selling it, and that's the end of the conversation. We're done with it. And what we do really good is, like, we're going to get it for you. And what doesn't make sense with their model, and I talked about it earlier, is the goal of B2B is for you to grow, right? Because what I actually want you to do when I sell you the printer is I want to sell you consumables.
Exactly.
The only way I sell you consumables is if you use the printer. The only way you use the printer is if you know what you're doing. So our goal is to get it to you, show you what to do, and get you to scale up. That's our whole goal, I think.
Yeah. So where are we really good? We're really good with people that want to grow. If you want to grow, it doesn't matter how big you are. If you want to grow,
Yep.
we're really good. We're really good because we'll stand beside you the whole way, and we understand you're going to make mistakes. As far as like you didn't get this or you didn't get that, and we're going to stand there and help you figure that mistake out.
I'm just glad that they could, we talk about growth, but we want to be a company that you can call on to get information, right? We want them to be able to say, look, I'm doing this kind of project, this, what can I use? Well, do you want to be efficient at it? How many are you doing? Those kind of things. We don't want to be box movers. Everybody can be a box mover, but it's that value add that we bring to the customer that allows us to give them good decisions and making, we're not going to sell you a printer. We want to make sure it's the right printer for your growth, right? Because I've seen it in the days where they sold you a printer and it's like, why did they sell you this printer when you want to be able to do car wraps and
Yeah.
all other stuff? Yeah,
All the time. We run into it all the time where somebody bought a printer from a competitor and they didn't ask the right questions up front. And that's what we try and avoid. And that's where I think we're best. That's my answer.
I think we're best everywhere.
That's true. We're 100%. Never miss. What technology changes would you like to see to help serve your customers better? This is from Rick from Banner Ups by Budnick.
I think the biggest change we're going to see, this is my future take on it, is RFID chips. Once everything has an RFID chip in it, loading, like you'll literally have a scan around for people that don't know what it is, it's a little chip that goes in a thing. You can scan it here or there. You'll be able to walk down the middle of your aisle of your warehouse and do inventory. But you'd also be able to put little things on the outside of your van. So like it knows that product went in that van. So
And
when you're all
without-
done
right.
loading, you scan these. They say, "Yep, all that product is on that van," or "You are missing this item."
Yep.
So I think that's the biggest change that's coming. It makes our job way more efficient, and it makes sure that you're getting the right product because you can also scan it coming off your truck. Like it'll happen where he stops at your spot, scans it, and before he leaves, it knows that that exact item came off that truck. So you're not going to get the wrong product, and we're not going to get the wrong product loaded. The only problem you're going to have then is, did you actually order the right product on the web?
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that's the biggest change that's going to happen, and it's going to come. It's not next year. It's 4 or 5 years
Down
down
the
the
road.
road.
But that chip's going to have all the information
Yeah.
on it.
And it's going to be every
all that
store.
stuff.
And this is how, if you've been to the stores in the airport
Oh,
where
yeah.
you walk in and you walk out with your food.
Yeah.
Even some of the new ones, they have the little kiosks where you just set them on
Just
the
set
counter
them all on there.
and then it just scans all of them at the same time. That's how they're doing it, is
Exactly.
RFID chips. So
And
that's
a
how
lot
it
of that's
works.
going to eliminate theft in the future too, because not only you know that it left your store, you're going to know what house it went to, which is
Yeah.
kind of scary.
True.
But
But
you'll
they'll know at least GPS coordinates wise where it
Yep.
landed.
Well, the chips are now inexpensive now.
Yeah,
So
they're,
they're
where
getting
they're
so
$3.
cheap.
They're,
Yeah,
they're,
they're getting-
pennies.
Yeah, they're pennies now.
Yeah.
So,
You can make smart home automation. They send you these little
here's
chips.
a dumb question for you. So when we talk about chips, why is it that they don't put the chips on the football on each end?
Yeah, and have
That
a
way,
laser that
if you
does it.
reach over, passes the line, it's a touchdown.
Because then the Lions would probably win the Super Bowl if they did quit cheating.
That's Yeah, we don't want to talk about the Cowboys game here. We're already mad about it.
It's nonsense. So
That's okay.
Lions would
We-
probably win. Lions would be Super Bowl
It's
champs.
okay. It didn't
multiple years
matter.
in a
We
row.
just threw it anyways a few months or a few weeks later, so it's fine. Yeah, technology changes on equipment. For me, I see where we're kind of hitting what seems like the peak in terms of colors that we can hit. I mean, we're hitting like in the 90 percentile for Pantones, and I don't think that other 8% that they're going to try and push for is going to be that big of a difference. So I think next what we're going to see is speed, which I mean, we see that already as Roland's kind of initiative is like, we're going to go as fast as we can now. That's their goal. I think we're going to see that from everybody. I think the whole goal is going to be like, how fast can we push these things? And I think that's what we see we're going. We've seen already some Muto released in, I think in Europe, like a new ink technology that seems interesting. So I think we're always going to see some new random ink technology that's
Right.
going to be a little different, right?
Stretch
And just
resistant,
Yep,
all that
stretch,
stuff. Stretch,
instant
yeah.
dry, all that. We're trying to basically get everything in one ink technology is what their goal is, and how we get there is going to be a question, but I think people are going to keep trying. So that's the other thing I think. That was the main group of questions. We can keep going. Does anyone in the chat have any questions either?
Yeah, we'll probably wrap up pretty soon. We've been going.
We've been going an hour and 15 minutes.
How many people we still got on?
50.
Whoa.
We've
Well,
been at-
let's ask.
we've
Have
been at-
them.
Come on. You guys want
put
any
some
questions
questions.
out? Send something out.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yes,
What else?
type
You,
away.
why they're doing that? What else
Okay,
you got
I'll
on
go
there?
through. I already asked that question actually. Oh, this is a good one to end on, I guess. Oh, yeah, plug the open house.
We're supposed to plug some stuff too.
Sure. United LED is available. If you didn't know, if you missed the beginning of this stream, United LED, it's what this. Oh, I almost just knocked your microphone down. This bag is that's sitting in front of me.
Smart packaging too. So one bag, one power supply.
Yep. United LED is now available on the website. You can find more information on our website or on unitedsignproducts.com. It's also available at Montroy and Spandex US.
And growing. Two others.
And yeah, more manufacturers coming. You can see the map on the United Sign Products website, but it is currently in stock in all locations. You had something you're going to add? I
No.
was going to move into
I'm waiting for next question.
Oh, open houses.
I already heard all this United
Open
stuff.
houses are coming up. Cleveland, September 25th. Detroit, September 26th. Grand Rapids, September 27th. Iowa, October 10th. Chicago, October 11th.
Come meet us in person.
I didn't have that in front of me, so if those
That's
are
pretty
right,
good.
I hope that I got. I mean, it should get it right. It's kind of important. For
It's
what I
your
do.
job.
And again,
your job's on the line.
I know.
Open houses, that's where you want to come because we have free food. We have 40 plus vendors there. That way you can bring in any type of questions that you may have, or you can get it one-on-one with them. They'll have new products out as well on the tables. And it's like a mini show.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a big mini show.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people and a lot of vendors. So, the last question I had, James from Firesprint, you sent me another 9 questions that maybe we'll add at a future Q&A that go through kind of how Wensco does our business. Maybe we can do a whole episode on that too.
Well, we don't
Let's
want to
get
give
to
all
this.
the secrets away.
Oh, it's not secrets. It's just
Okay.
like, what do, yeah,
All right.
kind of. But anyways, last question from Anonymous.
All right, go
Oh.
to the Nasmo, and then we'll go to theirs.
Okay. How do you react to heavy-handed manufacturers dictating the route to market and product line availability? From Anonymous, who might also be in the chat. Can't confirm or deny.
Say it again. Say the
Yeah.
question again.
So the question is, how do you deal with big manufacturers, or even on our end of things, who kind of pick what's available and who has it? How do we deal with that? Because this isn't just we're not even just talking about United. That's probably what it seems like on our end, but we also deal with there's some big products out there that are, some of them have gone direct, right? We talk about some of our competitors and equipment. How do we deal with these huge companies kind of picking and choosing what are their products available?
Yeah, you have to fight it different ways. If it, like we're fighting with United
Right.
LED in the LED market, but there's other products too where you have to outservice them. You just have to continue to see what they're doing, and then figure out what the customer actually wants. Because a lot of times what they're doing is best for them. It's not best for the customer.
Right.
It's best for them. So find out what the customer this LED. What does the customer want? He still want an inexpensive 2 LED module that's inexpensive, white and bright. Okay, we'll go make it.
Yep.
So basically, we're just listening to the customers on a lot of these. Like, is that what you actually want? No, I'd rather have this. Okay, let's go find this, or let's go make this.
Yep.
So we're just listening to the customers where they're trying to just do their business day in and day out.
Yep. And sometimes it's as easy as just finding an alternate source, right? Just finding someone who's making a very similar product and bringing it in. And sometimes it's like United, where we have to go out there. Nobody made the product that we're looking for, and go out to a manufacturer and say, hey, these are the specs we want. Can you make it? Send us samples. We'll test
Right.
everything and find exactly what's going to work for our customers. So,
Well, we want to carry products that people can use. Basically, we have a lot of different vendors that just say, hey, bring in this product, bring this product. It's like, wait a minute. Does that benefit our customers, or is it just benefiting you?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you got to also look at those as well.
Get what you get.
Bonnie, shout out Bonnie. She just sent me a text message from while we're doing this. So obviously she's watching. For the open house, please go and pre-register. It's available on our website.
Oh, that's what Bonnie just sent you?
Yeah. We're giving away Yeti coolers, Blackstone grills, and then gift cards, which we've always done. But one of those for each of the locations. So if you're listening to this, go and pre-register. You can say you heard about it on
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Website.
gift cards.
You have to
Vendors-
pre-register to win, and you have to show up.
correct. Both of those things are
You
true.
can't do either or. You can't just show up. You're probably not going to win. You have to pre-register.
Yep.
But
Yep.
kudos to all the vendors that come to the shows. We really appreciate them being there because that's what makes it happen. And I'm just glad that we have 40 plus every single time.
And shout out to the vendors. The prizes are from them.
Yeah.
I don't think we do a real good job at telling people that, but the other thing you should know is maybe one of the reasons Wensco's open houses are so popular is we don't charge our vendors to be there, which is not true with our competitors. They all get charged to do those open houses. We want as many people as we can, right? So we make it free. We ask them to donate gift cards and prizes. So if you see that little passport card that comes around, all those people are ones that donated prizes to the open houses. So shout out to them. We appreciate it. It would be a little more difficult and expensive to do
very.
it the other way. So shout out to them. Core Visual Group said, when we just talked about the manufacturer, said dump them and find the right manufacturer like France. So
I think he's partial. You
I
think
don't know.
he's partial?
He could be.
Yeah, could be.
And then Core Visual Group said, we love being there to the open houses. So the last questions from Three Sons Signs said, where are all the tint classes going to be? So for this one, we have them in one location. We changed this like 4 times now, so I don't have a perfect answer for you. But the 2 locations we're going to have for those, I believe, are either in Chicago or in Grand Rapids. So just be aware. You may have to travel for those because we're not going to do them at all locations because tint, PPF, wrap, and color change classes, if I did all of those, that's all I would do all year long. So we may get to a scale where we can do more of those more frequently, but right now we'll do basically one tint, 1 PPF, 2 color change, and a couple digital print classes in the fall, as well as we're doing some lunch and learns for architectural window film as well.
Architectural.
So
Yep.
you'll see all of that The architectural ones will be a little more widespread, a few locations in that one, but depending on how quickly these classes fill up, we'll schedule more. So ideally, if you like the classes, sign up for them and we'll do more of them in the future. That's kind of how it works. So
Yeah.
hopefully that answered some of your questions. He said,
And if there's any other classes that you want to, if you're thinking about, shoot us an email.
yes, please.
Because we're open to bringing in educational classes to everybody if
Yep.
we can.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing cabinet classes too, so we don't, we have more of those scheduled in
Yeah,
the fall.
more of those in the fall.
So you'll see those two dates coming out here soon. So just look at all of our social media, our website, email, all of that stuff. If you're not getting our emails, send me an email and I'll add you onto that list. We'll send you out all the dates for those classes here pretty soon because we literally got the dates solidified on Friday. So it's only been one day, work day basically, since then.
3 days for me.
Yeah, I understand. But for me, like 3 hours total. But anyways, Core Visual Group, last thing he said was, not partial. I'm just channeling my inner Mike. So that's what he's here for. So we appreciate you guys being here. 50 people kind of hung out with us for a good 45 minutes there. We sat at that number. So appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And we have many of these more, not live streams, but we have, I think the next 5 podcasts are already recorded. So you're going to keep hearing us every Monday for the foreseeable future, at least. So appreciate you guys being here.
Keep
Hopefully
listening.
you had a good time.
Yeah, check
And-
the media. Check your social media for other little
Yeah.
videos
Oh yeah,
that are
watch
gonna
for
be
the
coming
videos
out.
that are coming out this week. They are,
Funny. Well,
there's something else. Let me tell you. Okay, there's something else.
I'm
Just,
just-
keep an eye
I'll
out.
just put it out there. I have injuries from these videos.
Yeah. There's costumes, props,
Yep.
people rolling down hills.
we
all
got
that
we
kind
got
of
an
stuff
extra
involved.
$50 from Judy to get the costume. So
Yeah, it was a lot. So great show. So
Also,
Joe, I
if you ever
appreciate
want to
it.
be on, the people that are on here, if you haven't been on the podcast,
Yeah,
you wanna
Joe.
be on the podcast.
Joe,
So, Joe or any of the people that are on here, if you want to come on the podcast, get a hold of Tyler. We'll schedule the next one.
that's vendors or customers, by
Yeah,
the way.
anybody.
Customers are welcome on as well.
So-
So appreciate you guys. Appreciate it. Three Sons. Great chat. Joe said he's in. Core Visual said have
Joe
a great
who?
day. Joe?
Joe
Oh, you
who?
don't know Joe? Is he not on your phone?
I think he used to be.
Oh, he was. Okay. Joe.
oh boy.
Shout out to Joe.
Yep. Shout out to
Joe, you're gonna have to plug your own company in the chat. Apparently, it keeps getting beeped out on my end for some reason. I don't know how that works. But appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully, you had a good time. Thanks for watching episode 25 of the Slightly Serious Sign podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode. So,
See ya.
goodbye now.
Thanks.
Thanks.